going on, everybody? David Feldman-Makrias. Does this AI thing actually help you sell more cars? So, unless you've been living under a rock, AI is everywhere, right? It has been for the last couple of years, and it's just going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And more than likely, your dealership is actually using AI right now. Whether it's AI chat, whether it's an AI phone answering system, AI email marketing, AI texting, AI, just maybe ChatGPT or Gemini, just in a daily usage for your managers or your sales staff. It's a great way to use if, your sales staff wants to know more about vehicles and trying to educate the customers on it. I bet they're using it already. Now, what type of AI are we talking about today? The main thing we're talking about that we talk about on this channel a lot is Google, right? So Google is shifting a bunch, but it's not just Google. It's really AI search. And the big one that we know of is ChatGPT, right? So I go to Google and I go to AI mode, right? AI mode is, maybe you've already played with it, maybe you've explored it, but I'm not going to get into it right now. But this is somewhat the future of search, right? Search engines have changed our daily lives for the last couple of decades. Any question that we have, we can immediately know the answer. And then it integrates and evolves with other platforms like YouTube or other places like that. But what is it going to look like in the future moving forward? And this is a little bit of a glimmer. But here's the thing. Is it actually helping you sell more cars today? Well, I can help give an answer to that. And I want to show it to you right now. All right, let's look at this data. So the data that I'm looking at right now is actually an aggregated analytics, website analytics data. So telling us how people got to a website. It's that data for hundreds and hundreds of car dealerships put together. It's brought to you by I'm not going to actually mention the specific company for, anonymous purposes, but it's a large company, you know the name, and they aggregate all website analytics and digital marketing efforts. And what they do is compile this to give audits and analyses, right? So this data is actually across hundreds of stores. So across hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stores, what are we seeing within AI search? This is it. So dealerships total AI sessions, 0.271% of total sessions. Okay. What does that mean? So that means if your store gets 20,000, let's do the math, right? If your store gets 20,000 visits, not visits, let's do sessions, 20,000 sessions a month times, now you saw this, that was 0.271%, okay? So it's 0.00, so times 0.00271. We got about 54 sessions out of 20,000 from AI. Doesn't sound like a lot, right? Really doesn't. So David, what does this mean? What does it really matter? Well, here's the thing though. The difference is when you're searching in an AI platform versus when you're searching on a search engine, it's a much different experience. And I'm going to show you that right now, because when you go across hundreds and hundreds of stores and there's only 1,200 sessions, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it still is very impactful. And this is why. So if I go to ChatGPT, for instance, and I look up, what's the best Hyundai store near me? And it's going to search the web and give me an answer, right? It shows I'm near Chicago, and it's going to give me some answers. And while it's loading, the difference between this is that I have the ability to click on these links, but I may not necessarily do that. I might just ask another question, right? I can see that McGrath City Hyundai, Auto Nation, Gurney, Patrick, and Napleton are all options, but I don't necessarily have to click a link to go somewhere else, right? So what I could do instead is, well, which one has the best service reviews, right? That is a little bit different. Based on the recent customer feedback, AutoNation O'Hare has the best. So now I know I don't really have to go to the website, right? It gives me a runner-up, other dealerships to consider, whatever. So I didn't click anywhere. That's the point. I didn't click anywhere to go to a website. I have all the information without leaving, but I still have the information, right? So when we look at the data and we look at the amount of website traffic, it's very low, but it doesn't mean that it's not helpful and not being used more and more and more. We just have to judge it differently. Well, how do we do that? Well, we'll have to use different metrics. More about impressions, less website traffic, more about people maybe not getting to the website, but actually just, coming up with your information. And that takes a lot of content. That takes content production. But I want to give you some quick stats on the traffic that AI, they call it Gen AI here, generative AI engines, are actually generating. So the number one right now is ChatGPT, 96%. Why? Because it's the most well-known. Copilot, Microsoft Copilot's 2.46%. Gemini, which is Google, is 1.44%, and then Grok. So actually Gemini is the underdog here, and that's the Google product. But Google still owns a lot of the real estate. However, people will be flocking to ChatGPT because it's just the brand right now. It's just the brand, and it will be. So a lot of the content that you're going to be seeing on this channel moving forward, it's still going to be on Google Ads, and it's still going to be for car dealers, and it's still going to be driving traffic to a website. However, it's also going to be focused on how do you win an AI search? Because even though we're only generating a small fraction of total sessions right now, this is the future of how customers will look us up. What I just did in ChatGPT is not even the future. This is what's happening right now. So how do we know and guarantee that our stores are ranking exactly where they need to be ranking? Website traffic will not be the same moving forward. We'll be lucky to get traffic to the website the same. This is different. This is actually about, right? This is actually about showing up where we need to show up. So that's the difference. I thought it was interesting data. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll be moving on along in this AI search development. Thank you so much. David Feldman-Makrias. Talk to you soon.